time is it?
It's long shots time, baby. I love that intro video. That was me covering it up there.
I had a nice one of those liquid death cans of water at Wake Forest. They sell those over there these days.
Well, Mr. Longshots, you had quite the week picking college basketball. It appears this might be your gift and not football picks. Are you ready to retire from college football and just be a full-time college basketball picker?
I thought about it. I'm too close to 500 though. I think I gotta look. I think I'm 26 and 29. Like I'm a perfect week away from being 500. Like it's within striking distance. If I had John's record, yeah, I'd be retired. Because
you're about to get over that hump in football, I feel.
I'm getting there, and I lost a couple games this week. The Liberty over/under that was doomed from the under that was doomed from the start. But I'm so close, and I know I'm just there, and it'd be a great weekend for me to do it. You know, being down there at the basketball game with Southern Miss, and then the game on Saturday. But 8-3, it's pretty good.
I feel like you're always 1 week away from breaking even. I feel like that should have a
one bet away
1-800 gambler helpline. You know,
yeah, that should be the tagline. Yeah. Well, just remember, you're one bet away from even. Are you sure you want to complete this call?
So, anyways, a very, very impressive week from Richie Longshots, 8-3. I think I did the math, and if we actually, if we don't get canceled by the end of the year, which there's probably a good line on that. We're probably like, plus 250 at getting canceled. I think we're like 198 games is what we'd pick if we do this every week. So John's got plenty of time to catch up. John, in the group chat, he was sure to give out all the excuses about how he's like, going all the way around across the country, covering a football team, making picks at the rest stop, at a funeral, all kinds of stuff. It's really something else. One bad week, John. Let's not torch the whole system here.
Maybe I'm thinking the end of the year. Also, we should do a prize. We should do some sort of trophy. Name it something. Name it after a former player. Get some sort of something. But maybe we kind of do it like in college, where your worst test grade gets thrown out. You have like that wild card week where you're like, not for me.
You're gonna have to start like an Excel spreadsheet if we're going that deep. I mean,
yeah, that's true. I'm not. I'm no Excel wizard.
I'm just gonna keep adding, and that's probably good enough. I kind of like the idea of whoever finishes worse having to do something really embarrassing.
Yeah, in my fantasy soccer league, whoever comes in last has to go to an Amy Schumer concert completely sober, no cell phone, by themselves. Amy Schumer concert.
Okay, that's third level of hell stuff right there. Maybe Chad will just dig up some old tweets and air them for everybody.
Oh,
yeah.
He's already in the lab right now. All right. Well, let's look ahead to this week. If you want to win some money, follow Long Shots. That's what we're going with here. Here's our 11 games. Real quick, me and Chad only picked 2 of the same games, which, I mean, what are the chances of 11 games and only, like, we didn't compare notes or anything. He had no idea what his picks were. I had already put mine in before he sent me his. Long Shots, what's the odds on that?
So coin flip, so 50-50 chance of picking the same one. So 1 out of 2 times 11. 11 times 1 out of 22, 2 out of 20. I'd go with like 5%, maybe, if the odds reset each time. I'm gonna go 5%.
All right. Yeah. So, anyways, let's get through these games, and either one of us me or Chad are going to have a great week, and the other one's going to have a miserable week. So that's something to watch, folks. All right. Belmont at Lipscomb. I cannot believe Chad picked Lipscomb with a 1-point spread in this game. This is maybe like the most confident game I'm in. I love Belmont in this matchup.
Yeah, I've always been a Belmont fan. I remember they were in the dance 2019, the same year we were, and I remember that offense. I feel like every year they just have an offense that's going to score points and give me points this early in the season. I know a team's going to score points. Give me them.
Yeah. All right, we were completely split on this. Liberty, NC Central. Let's just go through both Liberty games now because that's kind of how I picked. I feel like these lines should be switched, and they very well might be. Remember, these are Ken Palm lines. These aren't set in stone. This was actually as of Saturday morning because I can't send these out and then change it. So some of these lines could have actually even changed a tiny bit in Ken Palm. I feel like these lines should be switched, which is why you see my picks while I picked Liberty tomorrow to cover and not. I definitely think Southern Miss is a much better team, and then I like the more points. Is that kind of, although you had it, you have, we did it the same way. Is that kind of what your thinking was too?
No, I think Southern Miss, and I haven't done a deep dive into Southern Miss. I just don't know. Are we going to beat any other like mid-major? I'm calling NC Central low major. They're the team that beat us in 2013, right?
No,
is that same?
A&T.
A&T. There's too many North Carolina schools. Just way too confusing. I think Southern Miss is a mid-major. I can't imagine us beating any other team like right now by that many points. So that worries me. I'm going to be at the game, and I would love nothing more than for Liberty to blow the doors off of them. But I just think, a team like NC Central, low major, should win. The arena's going to be rocking. It's a get-right game, and then Southern Miss kind of like that. All right, not a trap game, but we got a big trip coming up. Maybe take the brakes. Take the foot off the gas late in the game, and Southern Miss. Yeah, it's a lot of points. It's a lot of points. And I know it's similar to the NC Central game, but I think Southern Miss is just naturally going to have better players on their roster than NC Central.
Yeah, and there actually is a line out for this game. It's actually 12.5, so they went pretty much right with Ken Palm on this. So
Vegas can be lazy sometimes when it comes to the low to mid-major games. They don't know as much as we do. Which comes in like you might think it's a joke if you follow. I remember we were in the Big South when it came time for conference tournament. I knew more than Vegas did when it came to the conference tournament, and I remember I'm like, they don't know what they're talking about when it comes to these lines. And there's a ton of value when you're tracking this and you're looking at these games now and you're seeing which teams are showing up, and you keep that in the back of your mind. I distinctly remember in 2008. Davidson played UNC super close in the beginning of the year. And I went, Davidson, I'm going to remember that team. And when I filled out my bracket, junior year of high school, I was like, yeah, I'll let Davidson maybe win a game or two. And we all know what happened there. So this is a really good opportunity at the beginning of the season to see, all right, which teams are going to be contending with some of these Power 5 schools, which teams are going to be, playing well that you can keep track of and follow along as the season goes on. Because when it comes to conference tournament time or, the first round of the NCAA tournament, there's going to be value because Vegas is just going to jump to that Ken Palm line. They're not going to know kind of, a little bit behind the number and what went into that.
Yeah, totally agree. And I think I was on some school called Lindenwood today in real money. So yeah, you gotta go. They didn't cover, believe it or not. Yeah,
right. That was Missouri, right?
Yeah, I don't even know what the final was in that, but they did not cover. Had a great weekend overall, but Lindenwood didn't help. All right, Duke, Kansas. This is another one we're completely split on. Kansas -1. I look at this and I go coaching and I just go John Shire against Bill Self. Am I really going to take John Shire, who I think is going to probably do great things at Duke, but in his second week of the season, is that where you were at, or were you a little different?
I still hate Duke. Nothing's changed. You'll never see Duke next to under my name. They could play anybody, and I'm gonna take Doesn't matter. Completely irrelevant.
I
Coastal,
like it.
give me the beach chickens. Old Dominion, give me the Monarchs. But no, play some. I do think Kansas wins the game. I mean, I'll take my bias out of it, but Kansas veteran team. They just won the Natty. And I don't think they lost a ton of people either. It wasn't like a mass exodus type thing. So yeah, no, give me Kansas.
Chad in our chat did say Bill Self is suspended, but I still, I mean, I'll take.
What did he do? What did he do again? Was this a cheating situation, or did he get a DUI, or is it
4 games? 4 games for infractions.
How do you get suspended in 2022 as an NCAA football coach?
This was
like,
from
what did you do?
This was from like he would not. He would not be suspended now. So
I was gonna say this is a pre NIL situation.
Yeah, I'll still take him game planning this game and whoever his assistant.
You don't think he's got a mic in the assistant's ear like, don't do this, do that.
Bobby Valentine in the dugout. With the
All right, well we're right with there. That's gonna be a fun one to watch. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
I believe that's part of the Champions Classic.
It's gonna be it's a standalone game, right? Like there's a couple games. I know it's the only game we have on Tuesday, so no, it's definitely a must watch.
All right, next game, Gonzaga, Texas. I'm the only one who is on the Zags. Everyone else faded them after a disappointing 1-point win on an aircraft carrier. What? Were you really not taking Gonzaga this early in the season as an underdog? The Texas?
Texas at home. Give me Texas at home. Gonzaga? It's Gonzaga. I mean, I get tricked into them every year. And I know I took Gonzaga. You go under. I took Gonzaga, but Gonzaga's now at home. So I traveling down to Texas, that arena is going to be rocking. Smart's a good coach.
Yeah, the 4 points. I mean, if it was a pick 'em, okay, yeah, maybe. I got 4 points. Ooh, that's wild. All right, the next game. This is there's no way this line.
No, if this line is 25, it's all bet in the house. They're gonna have to make phone calls and be like, I think this guy knows something, because there's no way they just lost to Colorado today. There's no way.
They got waxed by Colorado today.
Colorado, there's no way this line's 25.
Colorado, who just lost to Grambling State before that. So, I mean, this was, this is one of those, we have to put this in because it's an ASUN game, but we know the line's not going to be. I think I'll be interested to see maybe kind of what Kim Palm's updated with some of these numbers. I'm probably going to ride Florida Gulf Coast, maybe down. If it's like higher than 16, I'm probably riding with Dunk City.
I think anything double digits.
I don't know, 11, 12. I mean, it's still, Tennessee was like 11th in the country, and it's at home. It's a true home game. But
there's beginning of the season's hosh posh. Once they got on the court, though, that was a bad loss today.
I'm going to say 16 would be my number. What's you're saying 10?
I'll take 11. Okay. 10 or 11.
Will, you got a number? I know you're not legally allowed to bet.
Yeah, I was thinking more like around 12, 13 line.
Okay, you splitting the difference. Yeah. I like it. All right, next, Baylor, Virginia. I mean, this just felt like this is a neutral game. Like Baylor getting a point. Like I think Baylor's I think my preseason national champion going into the year after they just destroyed my Delta Devils on opening afternoon. I feel like this was obvious, and the whole board took Baylor.
Yeah, it was. I watched that. I took on our show. I took the Delta Devils, and then I read things before the game, and I saw the line went from like 38, 39, 40, and it was moving rapidly, and I went, I gotta bet Baylor minus 40. Like if the whole world is doing it, like it's for a reason. So I ended up making money on the game. I lost it here, but I ended up making money on it. But no, Baylor looked very good. Yeah, they were playing one of the worst Division I teams, but they looked really good. They had a lot of players that were able to do it inside and out. They were super athletic around the rim, and I went, ooh. Like I know North Carolina is number one. I'm a Carolina guy, but I went, it's a pretty good team. Like they looked the part. They were able to do it both sides. Like I said, inside and out, and they look good.
Yeah. Yeah, I went with the sucker, went with the Delta Devils. I couldn't live with myself if I, bet on a team to cover a 40-point spread to start the year. And
Yeah.
one of my buddies was sending me pictures of every Delta's Devils roster, their profile pictures, and as they're down like 60, and it was painful. It was
There was
painful.
like kids there too. It was like take a field trip to Baylor's arena, like because the game was at noon. So all the schools in the area, there's like kids in the. It was just it looked like a Harlem Globetrotters game at the end of the second half. Like just it got ugly.
All right, next game. Indiana at Xavier. I grew up in Cincinnati. I root for the Muskies when they're not playing Liberty, which they've never played. Chad, I guarantee you only picked Indiana just
Yeah.
to be that guy.
Yep. Chad loves nothing more than to root for people's like second favorite teams.
Yeah.
Like he'll just be like, "How about those Rutgers Scarlet Knights?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm aware, Chad. We lost to Michigan by 60. Thank you."
Richie, though, you went to Rutgers, right?
Yeah.
Kirby, did you go to Xavier?
No, I went to Liberty, which is why I do
okay.
Liberty
I'm
podcast.
just checking.
I also went to Liberty. I put in a blog that I graduated from Liberty, and people were floored. Like I just showed up, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna root for this Liberty team." Like, no, I actually went there, people.
You're an alumni of two institutions. Completely acceptable.
Yeah.
But if you only have one, then you should have one allegiance. I'll jump off my soapbox and put on mute.
Yeah, we're not putting any more Xavier games on the docket the rest of the year. They could be number one in the country. Nope.
They're one of those teams that always just finds a way to screw me, though, when I bet on them. Like, weird things happen the moment. Like, when they get that Saturday noon game, like, I'm always like, ooh, yeah, I got a good feeling about Xavier. Bad. And then if I fade Xavier, they win. So it really is. If you're watching this and you see me take Xavier, hammer Indiana, because I never can get Xavier right, ever.
I never bet on a team that I have any interest in, so I would never actually bet on this game or Liberty. I just at home getting 2 points. Sean Miller, they got that effect. All right, we already touched on the Southern Miss. I really wish Chad would come on and explain why he went the opposite of us. Is it just a menace? Like he picks Liberty in this game, but not in the NC Central game.
Get him in it. What's he doing? What's he doing?
No, I think his mullet's not looking fresh tonight, so I think we can't bring him in tonight.
My plan though, since I'm going to be at the game, I'm just going to bet the over, and you're just going to see me on ESPN Plus and a Darius McGee shirt, hopefully just dancing my way to the over.
I love it. I hope the cameras find you. I'm going to put in every word I have, which is nothing, but yeah.
I got quick side story. I got picked to run they're like, all right, if you can dribble the ball length of the court in under 5 seconds and make a shot, free Chick-fil-A gift card. I was the most confident person in the world. I ran back to my dorm. I got my LeBrons. I was ready to roll. The girl next to me, it was like me and another girl. I was like, hey, if I make this, like, save your gift card. We'll go. I'll take you to Chick-fil-A with my gift card. Like, we had a date set up. I missed the layup. Whole place just went, oh, it was the most deflating moment of my life. So I'm a little worried that I'm going to be that close to the court after the whole incident of 2010.
Yeah, now that you brought that up, we got to get you doing a contest.
Yeah,
absolutely. Half court.
What could go wrong?
I would have seen you shooting a half court shot for a car or something.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I'm in. Yeah, even for a Chick-fil-A gift card, a little redemption.
I love it. All right, Jacksonville State at Alabama. I am the only one that took Jacksonville State. I feel like this is such a sucker taking Alabama. I think we just saw them roll Liberty. You're like we have these expectations now. 23 points against a team that was in the dance last year. I don't know about that.
Mickey Mouse dance.
They definitely were the Mickey Mouse dancers.
I'm a sucker. You look up in the dictionary, you're going to see a picture of me like, oh, that team was really good last game. They're going to be good again. No, big time. I'm a sucker. And now that I'm actually saying the words out loud, I don't think Alabama is going to shoot as well as they did. They're not going to ball out like that. So, and I don't know who they play next. after Jacksonville State, but 23 is a lot. Now that I think about it, depending on what the line is, I might actually sprinkle Jacksonville State when this game, is live on Friday. But probably not, because I'm going to be at the Liberty game, and I'm not going to bet on that game and not watch it. So
I think they play like South Alabama or something like that. I think I saw earlier today.
Oh, so they're just going cupcakes
yeah,
until
I mean,
December.
it's exactly what Coach McKay basically said that teams are doing right now. But yeah, obviously, I think Nick said I'm not legally allowed to gamble on these games, but I like that Alabama line. I'm with you, Richie.
Oh, there we go.
I will give Alabama credit. I actually don't think they did the whole cupcake schedule. Longwood, Liberty, South Dakota State, who's really good. I think they're picked to win the Summit.
Yeah.
Jacksonville State was, a team that was good last year. And then they got like Houston, Memphis, Gonzaga, which doesn't really fall in that category, but they did actually schedule a good schedule
in a little bit. But they don't have like they don't have a banger to start the season.
Their worst teams, Jackson State at 304 and Ken Palm. So they're not really playing any of the absolute bottom feeders.
Like the 350s, the 340s.
So let's give credit where it's due. Alabama, Nato, they deserve some credit for actually. I do too. He's a fun coach. Yeah. I didn't like him Friday when, but whatever.
He is the poor man's Charles Billingsley.
I can see it. He's got like the plaid blazer on and little pocket square. It's a good comparison.
All right. Bellarmine, Clemson. I'll be completely honest. I picked Clemson just to be a jerk. I knew everyone was going to ride Bellarmine. I was like, yeah, I want to be the guy that doesn't. I want to be the guy that gets this right. I faded Bellarmine. I think that Louisville win, it was a nice win, great for the conference, good for them, good for their program, but I don't think it's going to mean they're good this year by any stretch. Louisville lost their next game too.
Yeah, like Louisville might actually be one of the worst Power 5 teams so far in college basketball. So it's like, all right, what are they going to do when they play a decent team like Clemson? It's just too many points. This is another one. I don't think the spread's going to be 14. I think people are going to jump on Bellarmine. The line's going to end up being 10, maybe even single digits, just because of the people betting on it, and the books don't want to be without liability.
Well, I'm really jumping on that then. Yeah, I love that if that gets down to like 10. All right, then the final game. This is a incredible game. Kentucky at Gonzaga. This is a true road game. Zags are a 1-point favorite. I've already told you my my belief in Gonzaga. Kentucky's 1 in Ken Palm. Gonzaga's 3 in Ken Palm. So this is as good of a matchup as you'll see. Kentucky's got a young team on the road at Gonzaga, which is an insane atmosphere. Kentucky might be the best team in the country. I trust Ken Palm. I just don't think they're going to win this game.
I agree. For them to go out west, probably a late start. I mean, won't be that big of a deal. Oh, it's a Sunday game. Wow. Sunday game, a lot of travel to go from Kentucky out to Gonzaga. You said it. Place is going to be rocking. They're playing a senior, an old team. Kentucky's littered with freshmen, not freshmen. I know they have some of the transfer portal, but new to Kentucky players that are going to be playing in a big time atmosphere like that. So give me Gonzaga. I think Gonzaga, this is their get right game after losing to Texas, and they make that statement of, all right, we're still Gonzaga. We're gonna have our shot.
Yeah, 7:30 tip on a Sunday night. That's fun. I love that.
We're gonna be watching the end of that game next Sunday.
Oh yeah. I might actually have to. I usually turn off my TVs during the show. I might have to kind of keep that on. I don't know what we're gonna do next week, because next week's gonna be the conference tournament. So we're just gonna be picking a whole bunch of opening round games. Should we do like maybe something like pick a couple of the tournaments?
Yeah, maybe pick some tournament winners like that.
We'll discuss with the council and make sure that's within the rules, because I don't want to be I don't want to be accused of making the rules and skewing them in my favor. So we'll talk to the council. Maybe we'll pick like the 4 tournaments and make those 4 games and see if we can get any W's in there, or maybe some bonus points. I don't know.
I like bonus points.
Yeah,
we can count wins as points, and we can get weird with it.
All right. Well, we'll talk to the council. We'll get back to you guys on that. Mr. Longshots, Just an absolute pleasure as always. Any final
Oh,
thoughts?
thank you guys for having me. No, I'm looking forward to going down. I've been to 2 Liberty basketball games since I graduated. I went to a conference NJIT game up in Newark. That was an experience. And I was at the ASON championship game in 2020. So super excited to check out the Liberty Arena for the first time. And see this team live. My dad's coming down. My dad loves Liberty basketball. He watches more basketball games than football games. He's always he loved the 1920 teams. Like always talks about. He's like that number 0. That number's like never knows. Only knows a couple names, but it always is like number. And just it's cool that to bring him. We're gonna have good seats. And to check that out, check out the new arena. Crowd's going to be rocking. It's a Friday night, so looking forward to that. And thank you guys. I've learned so much more about the basketball team from listening to you two, and definitely more invested this year because of that. So thank you for having me on, and thank you for everything that you all do.
My man. Well, if you see Long Shots on Friday night, if you're there, buy him a Kool-Aid.
Yep.
Nothing more than that. He doesn't need popcorn or anything. Just a Kool-Aid and
They got an Annie Ann's in there. I know they got one at the football stadium. They got an Annie Ann's in the Liberty Arena.
I haven't actually not been to the Liberty Arena, so I couldn't tell you.
I haven't either. I'm hoping to get down this year. It is a long way from Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
With kids, but yeah.
Fingers crossed. All right, thank you guys as always.